through the magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It's the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream main event. I'm your host, Proto Man. Once again, this is the face that runs this place. This is the voice you hear Monday to Friday. It is Saturday, but it is the Friday weekend of Black Friday. I wonder if anyone found some cool stuff. I found this and that. Not much, in all honesty. We'll talk about that when we get into the what we get this week. Not much else really, but we'll cover some news. We'll talk about some cool stuff. We will chillax and talk about the robots in disguise, take some super chats, and just enjoy this lovely evening that is the robots. Who do we got in the chat today? So we have Cringe McCringle, what's up? We got Clark is back also, Clark Clint Gaming. Mikey and Louie are back. Haven't seen those two beautiful names in a while. Decepticitty, one of my patrons. Micah, what's up? We got Patrick Brown. We got James Hopkins. Will Murphy. Who else? Horned Owl. What's up, Horned Owl? Timmy K is here. Modutron, Fawnheart. T-Formers 2002. Roman Schilling. Prince of Phalanx 59. Talib is here. I want to make sure I'm not missing any patrons. Too Fair Lady Z, one of my patrons, is here. Ashnud is here, representing the magic of the gathering. And more to come, I'm sure, that are just piling in now. So, what's up? So we're going to cover the news, some sad news too. We'll cover later. I have a segment for that also. Again, Black Friday weekend. Originally, kind of the plan was maybe I was going to take a trip to the States and see what was happening there. I'm lucky because I live like right on the border. So I could just kind of go over to New York and go, hey, what's up happening here? But the last second was like, forget it, you know. And I wasn't too disappointed because, I mean, there wasn't much happening here. We'll get into that. But let's get into the news. Quite a few things to cover. Get the old water ready because it's going to be a loaded one. Mike Prime, what's up? Welcome to the YouTube membership and everything like that. So, let's do this. First up, let's talk about some more headless robots. Now, we got our very first look at most of the robot mode of our Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Armada Red Alert. This kind of cements more that they're going for much more of a screen accurate kind of look. The much more thicker kind of thighs that the animation model had. The chest isn't going to open up, it looks like, to have some kind of blast effect. Looks like there might be a 5mm peg under that, though, if you look at where the ab region is. It looks like it's going to have two molded fists that then you just clip the weapons over it to kind of simulate the Energon weapon, or I guess in this case, what's not so much a weapon, but repair tools that Ratchetto, aka Armada Red Alert, had back in the day. But he looks good. I mean, it's something where I'm pretty sure they're planning for repaints. The fact that he has two solid hands right away tells me there's a whole bunch of repaints planned that are outside of just the traditional Armada repaints. This guy, the original Armada Red Alert, had 4 different repaints. He had his original color scheme, technically 5 if you want to go into the variation of the Micron version. But he had the original version, the PowerLink version. He had his RoboCop Prowl repaint in the Energon line, and then in the 2007 movie, he got a Toys R Us exclusive Inferno repaint. So if they want to pull from those, I'm pretty sure they might do something just to get some mileage out of that tooling. But at the end of the day, I think there's probably some characters that people have suggested multiple times over that is a strong case of that. We will see. But we will see what happens. He is significantly shorter than our Age of the Primes Voyager class Prima. This leads more credence to some rumors that he either is going to come with a bunch of accessories or dare I say, Long Arm, the Minicon. I don't know really about, let's say, Long Arm being packed in, but I mean, that would be a pleasant surprise if that's the case. I think it's more so they just want to keep his scale with that of Hot Rod. Well, Hot Rod would be correct in his Japanese name, but Hot Rod, Hot Shot, and Optimus Prime Convoy, and kind of want to keep to scale with them. But hopefully, we'll see more of these as time progresses. I feel like probably over the next coming weeks, because Nate did say we are going to be getting a live stream in December before the year is up. Probably it's going to be Studio Series stuff, but there probably will be teasing at some Age of the Prime stuff that's going to be happening, obviously, in January of 2025. So we will see. We will see. But again, I think he looks good. But let's get some color. Let's see how that RoboCop head's going to look. Give me some Peter Weller. Let's see what's popping with that. And speaking of heads, here's the one that got a little heated. Some people loved it. Some people hate it. I'm not feeling it myself, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the head, supposedly, of our Voyager class Age of the Primes Prima. Now, you know what? A lot of things have been said about this, between it looks 3D printed, it looks like it could be a variant head, it looks like it's just, someone messing with something. We don't know. We don't know. When we're this early in the stage of reveals of figures, this isn't like final, painted retail product shots. This isn't retail photos. This is the test shots that are run through the molds to see that it works well. They're called injected molded test shots. Lunchtime specials in some cases. Some people like to call that in the old fandom. But we'll see. We will see. It's kind of a divided thing. There's some people that don't mind it. There's some people that love it, and then there's some people that aren't feeling it. I fall into the not feeling it camp. Aaron said it in his live stream. If you guys didn't catch it yesterday, if you're gonna do something with the primes, do something that is dynamic and different. And I feel like this is something that doesn't really fall into that. But it is what it is. And speaking of the devil, we just conjured him by saying his name only once instead of 3 times. A variable Beetlejuice. What's up, Aaron? Alden Tolbert with the $2 super chat. D16 and Alita need to take a chill. One needs to take a chill pill. Well, Alita is your typical just angry girl boss character, and D16, well, let's just say if you lie to him, he loses his he loses his shit, so to speak. What's up, Twins Corner? Um, but we'll see. We will see what happens with this head sculpt. We're gonna try to get the reality of it. Mike Prima was going to wait until sales at Target to get Prima, anyways. So the head doesn't bother me, but I do like the deep cut reference. Well, I mean, I still want to see if this is even the head on it. That's the thing too, is that I'm not going to get too devoted to this until I really have some solid paint deco. And is this really the head? Maybe this is the variant head. Look, Mark, that wasn't Mark, Evan said it himself. Like, nowadays on the sprue in the factory, there's 3 different heads for a mold just waiting. 3 of them. So who knows? Sometimes these factory leaks that get out, it could be a guy who didn't even know that was the right head to go on it. And to be fair, when we're talking Age of the Primes, we don't exactly have a cheat sheet of what head does belong on this. If you're presented with 3 heads and you're a factory worker, there's nothing that really says, oh, this is totally sideswipe. It belongs on this, so we will see. And the devil, it. But yeah, we'll keep you posted. I'm pretty sure over the next week or so, more stuff is going to surface. Hopefully, we'll get some full color images, and we'll see that Star Saber blade, because clearly you could see on the left side of the vehicle there's something that's sticking out that's gray near that wheel in the front. It's clearly either the handle of a Star Saber blade or some kind of accessory. So hopefully we'll get some better photos. I love how these guys who have the figures in hand, they purposely are just kind of taking the worst photos possible, or alternatively, they're just taking the quickest photo possible from the factory line before it has to go back onto it and get destroyed. To be fair, back in the day, working at Burger King, when we got the Cybertron toys, and they send them like 3 months early before they're supposed to come out, and they sent us the store displays, the ones that like go into display in the lobby so people can know what figures they are. So I literally took those 4 figures before they were put into the display. I brought them into the bathroom at Burger King because that was like the best lit room at the time. Put them on the top of a toilet, like the toilet tank, and took a photo of those first 4, and those were the public reveals to the world of those. So sometimes, under pressing circumstances, if you wanna share some images of robots in disguise, sometimes you have to work with what you got before you get them out of your hands. Either way, let me know what you think about it. I know it's been hot or cold, some people are not a fan of it. I'm gonna wait. Currently in its current state, I'm not feeling it, but I'm gonna wait and see what pops. Speaking of something that I'm actually quite excited about, let's talk about Missing Link. And we got our very first look of the Missing Link CO5 Sunstreaker, and looking exactly as I imagined. But I mean, the bigger pleasant surprise is that CO6 is going to be Cordon, the police Sunstreaker, and also they're just building this great line. I I didn't think I was going to like this line. When the Optimus came out, I was like, okay, I dig what they're trying to do. It's G1 with articulation. Sure, that's cool. But then when they did like the Bumblebee and the Cliff Jumper, I was like, you know what? I'm starting to feel this. What's up, young? I'm starting to feel this. I'm starting to feel this. So it's like, and now we got the Sunstreaker, we got the Cordon. That's a little bit of Diaclone Kojin Ono history, the very first transforming robot from that era. So there's a lot of goodness going on here. We don't have release dates. We don't have any update on the RC yet. The last time we saw any information about these guys was at the Tokyo Toy Show. I think that was like in mid-October, and their placard just said coming soon. So chances are, if these images that we're looking at here, I like to call them the blurry, the blurry ones, the very blurry images. Um, these are usually the Japanese retail images, pre-order images, so we're probably going to see better versions of these. Maybe Tuesday, who knows? I know that next week is actually we'll talk about it also in a later still here, but next week is the Cybertron Con Shanghai. So we're probably going to see some items that might debut there. So we'll definitely talk about that. Like right now, I guess, because Blockies is coming up also, I think. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff we got to cover. But anyways, Cybertron Kong Shanghai, supposed exclusives. So next week on the Friday, which if I remember correctly, let me look at my calendar here. It's going to be on December 6th to the 8th is the Cybertron Kong Shanghai. And yeah, there's going to be some kind of repaint exclusives of 2 different commander classes. We only have the box shot here right now of Magmatron. The belief that there's some kind of repaint to this one is, despite the fact that it has a brand new box, if you look at some of the deco on the art here, specifically around his forearms, on his legs, on his thighs and stuff, there clearly is a much more Eastern inspired kind of deco on him. And considering, you have Chinese New Year coming out on January 25th, 2025, year of the snake. Maybe it's a year of item, which Hasbro and China have done historically over the past couple of years. So we will see. Young, I am not going to Shanghai. I would have loved to go to Japan, but that got pushed back. So we'll just have to focus on other things right now, Young. Maybe you'll come with. But yeah, it's this one's popping off. We don't have any images of him yet, but we'll see what's popping. But then we got this guy that also created confusion among multiple photos. This also Cybertron Con Shanghai exclusive Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime with a unique box and unique sticker sheet that gives you different kinds of visuals. If you want to do toy accurate, if you want to do like a more animation accurate with like a cell shaded kind of, front ends and stuff. And of course, you have different stickers for the front of the chest if you want to do it in one mode or the other. Very unique stuff. I did a much more deeper breakdown if you look at the individual segment I did about it, showing like, well, what is all these stickers and where they come from, the toe stickers, the knee stickers. And if you look carefully on the bottom right image, he even has orange eyes. So there's probably even eye stickers for the Optimus to go for that super 1984 show accuracy. It's probably the most affordable way to create an exclusive for a convention without having to really do much. Take that Studio Series 86 Optimus toy, don't change anything about it, make a brand new cardboard box, which costs absolutely nothing to do, throw them in that, and then give them a foil sticker sheet. It's all paperwork. It's all easy stuff. And we'll see how it turns out and what the secondary market's going to say about it. Box is kind of nice looking, but I think it's just some much more affordable exclusives for the Chinese market that is a exponentially growing market for Hasbro. And let's be real, kind of the future in a lot of ways. So we'll see how that goes down as time progresses. And one last one we're going to cover is, of course, Blockies. And we got our in-hand images and our very first true look at the Blockies Action Edition '02 Megatron Generation 1. All the extra stuff that he comes with, all the pieces, how the LED glowing is going to work on this one, as opposed to how the Optimus was with the Matrix in his eyes. If I have one complaint, and it didn't dawn on me until after I did my individual segment on it, the Optimus one, because I was messing with my Optimus one, and it's like, oh yeah, the Optimus gave you the option to do like toy accurate colors or show accurate colors. They even gave you different color eyes that could glow if you want. So they had like clear yellow, orangey eyes. The Megatron, I'm surprised the inner legs didn't have like a blue variant. So you could do Megaplex or Megatron, and then the eyes could have been like blue. I don't know. Just putting out some ideas there. But again, Action Edition Blockies, they're really good. They're really, really good. If you're someone that's a much more mediocre level Gunpla person, model kit builder, these are right up your alley. They're not that complicated. If you're someone who's really used to only early blocky stuff, the 3-inch stuff that really doesn't require too much assembly, this will be something a little different for you. But I dig it. I dig it. I think it looks really good. I'm gonna try to pick this guy up, and I hope they do more. I really do. It combines my love of Gundam model kit building and Transformer model kit building. Obviously, I get my fix also with Flame Toys, but this is something that adds a little extra to it also. Flame Toys is much more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Stylized departure from the Generation 1 designs. These are much more closer to that with a little bit of electronics and accessories. So we will see. A lot of cool stuff though. A lot of accessories. It comes with the throne slash cockpit seat of the Nemesis. It comes with Laserbeak. It comes with Kremzeek. Comes with a whole bunch of hands. It's all kinds of good stuff. Comes with a reflector even. Kevin PH with the $5 super chat. Some believe that Chris Cox is killing Transformers. I don't believe that. They better do what you're saying about video games. Well, I mean, the thing with Chris is I don't know if it's Chris Cox so much killing Transformers is that um it's something more that you have to look at where do you go? Because before we get, we still have a few more stuff we're going to cover, but we'll just kind of cover this topic. I'm sure we're probably going to talk about it more tonight, but look, we had an absolute banger of a Transformers movie. An absolute just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 Transformer movie. You could have not made a better movie for us. You couldn't. Like, there's nothing we could have done to make a better movie. Now, the argument, of course, and I agree with that argument, was the marketing early on was pretty weak, and that probably hurt it. But at the end of the day, where were those, $1.1 billion of Dark of the Moon viewers? Why did they not even try to show up for this movie? We didn't even get half of that. Think about it. We didn't get half of that Dark of the Moon money. We didn't even get a quarter of that Dark of the Moon money. So where did those people go? Did those people drop off? Did they become more Marvel fans or whatever new hotness that they're told to like right now? So clearly there's something wrong right now with the Transformers IP that isn't pulling people in. You could argue that maybe Rise of the Beast didn't get enough eyeballs and thus people fell off the brand there. Some people might think that the Bumblebee movie might have been too quiet. Maybe the negative press that say something like Earthspark God, or maybe the fact that bots came out as a cartoon and didn't have product to cover that at the same time. There's so many different arguments to make why Transformers didn't get the viewership it did, and the domino effect that led to some of the difficulties that it's in right now. Um, I mean, me personally, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, Transformers will never die, so you never have to worry about that. And I've said this before, and Aaron even, applauds it because it's so true. In the toughest times of Transformers, gave birth to its greatest moments. And it's something where, you know, through the 86 movie and losing fans, we gained the best movie with the 86 movie. Through these abysmal sales of 1993 and 1994. 92 was one of the worst years for Transformers, but 93 and 94 during Generation 2 didn't help itself. Now, you could argue, of course, Power Rangers debuted during that time, so nobody was caring about Transformers while Power Rangers was taking over the world. If you didn't live during 93, 94, you don't realize just how important Power Rangers was when that came out in a pre-internet world. It was Cabbage Patch Kids. It was Tickle Me Elmo. It was killing. Everyone was killing each other for it. It was nuts. Um, so it's something where G2 was snake bit just from the get go. You weren't gonna overshadow that thing. You'll get some of the sales, but not all of it. And as a result of 90, 93, 94 not doing well, led to 95, 96 Beast Wars, and man, did that just kill it and rock the world you know? So it's something where, look, we were given a really good movie and nothing showed for it. Look, I went to Black Friday. The only stuff that was on sale that was Transformer related was Transformer 1 stuff. You could lie to yourself, but retail's not going to lie to you. Me and Jaws D love documenting what goes on sale sometimes, and money doesn't lie. People could lie, political beliefs could lie, political parties could lie, political beliefs could lie, all kinds of stuff could lie. But money doesn't lie. And when it comes to Transformers 1, maybe a studio series item is selling well for a adult collector, but the mainline movie stuff is not selling well. And Rise of the Beast suffered a similar fate, unfortunately, where the Rise of the Beast product, some of it is still on shelves in Walmart today, which is pretty wild. So it's some pretty tough stuff. So it's something where Chris Cox is not the man who made those decisions. He's not. I'm not saying that he's free of other criticisms, but he wasn't the man who made a majority of what he's making from a decision standpoint is what he feels is something that could keep that brand afloat in a modern shape or form. I agree with half of what he's trying to do. I do feel that video games is a good direction and platform for the Transformer brand. Of course, and look, toys aren't going to go away. Cartoons aren't going to go away. Those will still exist. The Transformers brand in its entire history of 40 years has always had something exist at some shape or form forever. Forever. 1992 was the worst year. It had 6 figures, no comic book. Well, it had like one manga story page chapter in Japan, but no comic book, no cartoon. G2 gave you some cartoons and comics in the Beast Wars era, and we were rocking ever since. But even in its worst times, we still got something. It's not going to go away. So, if anything, what's good about it is at least it's going to make them get squeezed. And like we learn anything in life, when you work a muscle gets damaged when you work out, but then it comes back stronger than ever. And that's how it works. It heals and it comes back stronger than ever. It's the Zenkai boost of Dragon Ball. It's the Saiyan Zenkai boost, near death, back stronger than ever. And Transformers historically has gone through that multiple times and will go through that. We will go through that again. AI Galactic Trials is not a good example. We have mobile games. We have these, I call them shovelware. There's these companies, it's just product. How do you have a Transformer game that doesn't have online play? To me, if you make a Transformer game that you want it to be that have longevity, it has to have online play. Otherwise, you play the game, you look, let's be real, my people who stay at home all weekend on a Saturday. You play the game, and in less than a weekend, you've beaten it, and it's the past of your life. You're gonna buy it on Friday, beat it on Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday, you're not even talking about it anymore. If it has online play, it exists in perpetuity. That's why people still play fighting games to this very day, leading all the way back to Street Fighter II World Warriors from 1991, because if you have some kind of engagement of online player community, that game could live forever. Go to Walmart right now. There's Street Fighter 2 toys from Jada. You know what I mean? Or Jazzware, Jada, one or the other. I think it's Jazzware. You know, what does that say? You know, it lives in perpetuity because it has that community that keeps it alive. It keeps those characters alive. So if you create a really good game, look at the War for Cybertron Gamer Edition stuff. Why are we getting toys of character from that long ago? Because those games had such a huge foundation. And hell, even the fans. Was it Jada? Okay, perfect. It's funny because some Jada stuff was purchased today. Um, but it's just something where I think that Chris is half right. I wouldn't agree with everything he's doing, but he's half right. There's a lot of stuff I don't agree with what Hasbro's doing, but I am not in control of that. That is not my decision to make. But if the ear was given, I would definitely let them know what I think could be done and should be done. You know, Talib with the YouTube member question: have you heard the news about MP and MP Plus reissues? Yeah, I talked about. I want to say, geez, like 2-3 months ago. There was a huge listing of a whole bunch of Masterpiece and Masterpiece Plus reissues. I forget what was on that list, but there definitely, if there's one way that you could keep putting out Masterpiece product without having to take the time and energy to engineer them, just the factory time to have them produced, it's to do reissues. And Masterpieces are amazing. They're the pinnacle and apex of Transformers. And if they decide to do a reissue of Masterpiece Wheeljack or Shockwave, and you haven't picked them up yet, do yourself a favor. If you don't have the money, I understand, but if you do, those are some amazing products. Everyone wants the next, Studio Series 86 version of like Soundwave, but go own Masterpiece Soundwave and swish, you're done. High Moon Games was sweet, says Aaron Archer. Damn right they were. Damn right they were. They knew what they were doing. It was a Deadpool game that kind of buried them. And it was a Deadpool game that came out like 2 years before anyone even cared about Deadpool. It's like, too soon, too late. Why lag why? Glad you caught the stream. Thank you for joining me. Why lag why? T-Formers 2002 was Megatron plus Wheeljack and another one that escapes you. Yeah, I remember it was like the Megatron, Wheeljack. Am I wrong to say anime colored Sideswipe? I remember this was like 3 months ago, so it's already out of my mind. But yeah, see, Mike Prime says Sideswipe also. See, I remember, I think Sideswipe, I think it was like the anime Sideswipe, like Sideswipe Plus. Another like the Wheeljack 10 out of 10 mold, the Sideswipe Lambor mold, any of those, like even the G2 one. If you could get that G2 one with the, Andrew Wildman shaped face and everything, oh, they were all great. They were all great. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. But yeah, we got one more piece of news, and then we'll probably get more into the rants of the future and all that. We lost one of our lovely ones in the Transformer world today. Morgan Lofting passed away a few days ago, November 27th, at the age of 84. Morgan was for me, especially more famously, the voice of Baroness from G.I. Joe that gave birth to that character, and when we read a G.I. Joe comic, who we associate that voice with in our heads. She gave birth to that. She was also Moonracer at, I believe it was BotCon 2011. Because I know she was there. I know she took a photo with my buddy Phil from the old Slag podcast days, but I believe it was 2011. She did the script reading for animated drag strip and Strika, and she did Strika's voice kind of like Baroness, so it kind of worked out. Yeah, she's awesome. I met her probably at like 2 BotCons and like 3 different TF cons. An extremely lovely lady. The image on the bottom left there was her in the movie Joysticks, which, if you're a video game 80s sex comedy nerd guy like me, uh, that's Morgan Lofting in there. So she was a wild lady. She was great stuff. But rest in peace, Morgan. I mean, the Baroness alone will make her, a legend forever. You know, will make her a legend forever. So let alone everything else that she's done. So it's a real sad one, but again, rest in peace, Morgan. You were awesome, and it's sad because we're losing our G1 alumni. We're losing so much of them. I want to almost, at TFCon, I think it was TFCon 2016, where they took that giant group photo at LA, and there was like, gosh, I want to say it was like, where's my phone? Hold on a second, guys. Let me pull it up because Morgan was there too. Everyone was there in that one. Where's that video? One moment, guys. Let me see if I could pull it up. Riveting content, of course. Proto Man on his phone digging. But we will see if I could find it. There we go. One sec. Ugh. Oh, there was. Let's see if I could pause it. So there was like a beautiful group photo of a whole bunch of them there. I think we've lost 3 of them since 2016. You know, gosh, everyone was there. Dan, Morgan, Pauline, not Pauline Noonstone. You got Michael Bell, Greg Berger. Already, like 2 or 3 of them are no longer with us from that, and that was in 2016. So it's like when you see those guys at a con, guys, get your opportunity. Take it from me, who's a huge wrestling fan. Every time I see a wrestler, and this wrestler could be in his 60s, and I'm like, I'll get him at the next show. And then you don't get him at the next show, you know, because something happens. So enjoy the people around you while you can. And rest in peace, Morgan. You were awesome. You were awesome. Don't want to always have to go on a sad note, but let's cover some sponsorship stuff. We'll get some stuff taken care of what we got this week, and then we'll open it up to super chats and just do nice long form questions. First thing we're going to be covering is Symbiote Studios. So Symbiote Studios has a Black Friday sale. Crazy amount of deals happening. The best one of the bunch. Let me go reach for the monk. So this guy right here, you could get Optimus Primal, the monkey, Age of Extinction for $5. $5 for this guy. The others are between, I want to say, 15 to 20% off. They're also on reduction. You could get those on sale. The Shockwave pin, as well as all the others too. The pins are on sale. The shirts are on sale. It's just a Black Friday blowout before more new product is created going into 2025. We do this every year. It always happens. So if you haven't gotten like a Slag plush, represent the podcast there in a lot of ways, or get yourself a nice hot rod or whoever. They're all on sale. Go check them out, symbiotestudios.com, and enjoy, and enjoy, and enjoy. I have to talk about Can't talk about my sponsor after some. You're right. You're right. After someone passes away, we should just stop the show completely. What do you want me to do? This is the line of how I did it. I could have talked to her about it before and then jump into talking about Transformer toy news. There's nothing that could be done. You know, there's nothing that can be done. People pass away and life moves on, and we celebrate them as much as we can. You know, that's how life is, my friend. That's how life is. Um, T-Formers 2002, you bought the sludge, the new one, the brand new one. He's looking good, eh? More Dinobots will be coming. Stay tuned for that. Again, 2020, 2025 is going to have a whole bunch of new reveals and stuff. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But again, there's all the others too. All the other Hasbro brands. We also have some new video game plushes that are going to be on the website. I think they're live right now. You know, Mikey and Louie. Um, but so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Those ones, some of them I believe are on sale. There's some new My Little Pony ones too. Check them out, yo. Check them all out, and GI Joe stuff too. I'm actually rocking the Grimlock one today. Also, the shirts are on sale. Everything's on sale. Joe, go check it out. SymbioteStudios.com. Rock out. Then, of course, we got the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Aaron did a good live stream yesterday, talked about his thoughts of Age of the Primes and going into the new era and collecting. Aaron, I have a question. I saw two cats in the video, one Siamese, Jiro, but who's that other cat? I'm seeing a tabby. Who is that, Aaron? Why is there a second tail that was in the background there? Wonder who that was. Hey, Butters? Butters is knocked out. He doesn't care. You can barely see him in the reflection of the glass, but yeah. Wonder who that was. And I heard you were getting rid of your Shogun Warriors. Anyways, check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. We got some good segments on there talking about all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Yearly, what is there, Aaron? There's a yearly monetary commitment. If broken, could change everything. Yearly monetary commitment. No, it's business is business. You got to talk about your sponsorships. You got to respect your sponsors. Hey, you know what I mean? That's life, my friend. That's life, my friend. Let's see. And then of course we got Aaron's book. The beautiful Transforming Robots Volume 3. If you were not able to pick it up at TFCon Baltimore due to shipping mistakes, you can pick it up on the website. As well as Aaron posted some brand new Posca paintings. He put up his concept Cybertron hotshot up, which I believe is still live. I put up, what was the other one I put up? And then I had to delete it because it sold out while I was doing this slide. Which one was it? Oh, it was the Death of Prowl. Aaron, that thing sold like ridiculously quickly. You put that live. I did the slide and then boom, that was gone. I don't know if that's still on the website, but there was a Death of Prowl one, but there's a whole bunch. Go check them out. Again, archermonster.com/shop. It's all there. One of a kind pieces. Don't miss your opportunity because when they're gone, they're gone. They are gone. The other gray cat is Arthur Digby Seller. What the hell? Okay. I would have went with Mittens. Okay, we'll go with Digby. That's funny because Digby was the name of a dog in a Canadian sitcom called Doghouse. Digby's in the doghouse for all like the 3 Canadians that know what I'm talking about. He was a talking dog from YTV. Digby. Interesting. But yeah, check all of those out. Good stuff there. A lot of good stuff there. Prince of Phalanx 59 watching Survivor Series War Games right now. Yeah, there was that women's match there with Ioe Sky there with the trash can. I caught that craziness. Prowl went in 10 minutes. Geez, no wonder. Because I took a screenshot to do it for the slide. And then as I was working on it, I refreshed the page to go back to go get some other images and it was sold. And I was like, are you serious? So the Dragon Megatron versus Primal is up there right now. So go get it because that's going to disappear. Close what you're doing right now. Forget talking to me. Go to archermonster.com and buy that because that is going to disappear. That is going to disappear so fast. So very fast. But yeah, go check them out again, archermonster.com/shop. Plug, 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 plug. Got to help my peeps out. They got to make money too. Got to help out my friends. Got to help out my friends. So, what did we get? So, Black Friday. So first of all, we're going to be eating something today. I went out with the lady, and she bought way more than me. I was much more frugal in what I wanted to buy because there wasn't really anything that really interested me. But she went to Uniqlo, and being any self-respecting Asian lady, she bought a crap ton of that stuff. She bought an Ultraman T-shirt, a Godzilla T-shirt. Probably should have taken photos of those. She bought some really nice stuff though. Me, I'm not a big fan of Uniqlo because like they'll put like a little Godzilla on like the breast pocket, and then everything's on the back. And I don't like shirts where the art is on the back, to be honest with you. I don't see it. People don't see it because when you're talking to me, you don't see it. If you're seeing the back of my head, you're probably not talking to me. So to me, it's like I like stuff that's on the front, just looks nicer that way. And and she got a whole bunch of like Godzilla ones and Ultraman. I think she got a Cause one, whole bunch of them. Then she bought a bunch of Lego. The only Lego one that I brought down that she bought that was really cool. And it's not really Lego; it's Nano Blocks. But I just figured people would dig this. This Pac-Man one here from Nano Blocks. Thought that's really cool. That's really awesome. Doesn't really have much on the other side here, but this was Toys R Us had this on clearance. It was one of the few Black Friday items that I got. I forget what we paid. I think we paid like $5 for this Canadian. So that's pretty rad. Dig that. Little old school Pac-Man 1980, I want to say that one, with his second Namco design. His more Western design, not his long nose that he had in Japan. I'm back. No big red dragon yet. Yeah, no big red dragon, Sarah. Not yet. We're waiting for the blue dragon. So she got that. She got a whole bunch of other Lego stuff. She bought the Lego Jurassic. Apparently, Toys R Us apparently was liquidating a bunch of Lego, a bunch of stuff. A lot of the like the licensed stuff, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, and Batman. So she got like a whole bunch. She got like the Dennis Nedry and that Spitty dinosaur from Jurassic Park. She got that 2-pack for $20 Canadian, which is like ridiculously cheap considering how expensive Lego is. So that's like $16 American. So got that one, got a whole bunch of those. I didn't really, again, there wasn't anything for me. Like Transformers stuff that was on Black Friday clearance was all Transformers 1. Most of that I got sent to me by Hasbro, and a lot of the rest of it, I mean, I don't want Tiny Titan, not Tiny Titan, the Titan changers and some of those weird, finger figures and all those. I don't know. And it already sold. Aaron, it already sold. Well, that's the end of that. That was quick. Uh, but it is what it is. And then, so then I went to Marshalls, and they had. Well, no, this one was from GameStop. Got Spike for red tag clearance, $8.99. So $8.99 American, Canadian is let's say $6-7 American. Got Spike, didn't have him. I only bought this just for the clown car. That's it. These two are going to end up going for sale at some point. This guy, what did I pay for this one? This one was on sale, $14.99. So that's Canadian. So let's say about $11 American. So not too bad. I just wanted the clown car. And then that was it for what I found for Black Friday. What came in the mail, which made me happy, was the latest wave of Mega Man Jada figures. So we got yet again another Cut Man. We've gotten tons of Cut Man, so that's not a big deal. A repaint Bomb Mega Man. Hey, they got to do something with the tooling, so sure, why not? But hey, man, we got a good Elec Man. Look at that. Look at that Elec Man with interchangeable hands and interchangeable face. So this line has been killing it. And the next wave is going to be great. The wave after that's going to feature my namesake. Loving these. Loving these. They are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous line. So that's the latest wave. I picked that up. That was, I believe, that was a pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store sent through UPS because just a little update. Canada Post is still boned. So once again, to my patrons, if you're waiting for stuff from Patreon, the TFCon exclusives, they are still delayed because Canada Post is being a bunch of weirdos. So we're gonna have to wait that out. And Dragon versus Primal is sold. Thank you guys. Very good, Aaron. Happy for you. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sales I'm probably missing. Obviously, the online ones and Amazon, but we kind of just went out to do grocery shopping, and then we kind of hit the stores here and there. She spent way more than I did. Let's put it that way. She made out like a bandit. I bought this and that. There wasn't really much else that was of interest to me. I'm a lot more careful with stuff. Like, look, they had the Lego Bumblebee for sale. I think it was like down to like 106 or something Canadian. I still think it's too expensive. Keep on sliding B. Let's get if he's like because I'm looking at the Optimus right now, the Optimus Lego. If he's like $80, 80 $90 Canadian, I'll pull the trigger. But no more than that. Like it's, I can't I don't know. I'm not feeling that B. It's just not worth it. And I'm not a big Lego guy and it doesn't look that great. The Optimus looked way better and the Optimus went on sale. Oh, Butters, you getting up? Let him do his thing. Or is he just repositioning? He's just repositioning. um Transformatics for Black Friday. I bought a Unique Toys provider Octane for 80 Canadian shipped. Well, not bad. There you go. $20. Yeah, $20. That's when it'll be worth it. Yeah, well, I'll buy it for $20. That's for sure. I don't know. I just feel he's not there yet. See, like here, T-Formers, he's 90 USD to 80 USD, and that's quite a discount. Well, see, again, 90 to 80 USD, if you convert that to Canadian, brings it to that like $100, $105 mark. I think he should be 90 Canadian, which is like 75 USD or even less. Like, I don't know. He doesn't look as nice. I think the Soundwave that's rumored, I think that one is going to get knocked out of the park because that's a blocky design. The silhouette is very similar to the Optimus. That's going to look good. The Bumble and not to mention the Bumblebee wasn't even designed by Joe Kide, who did the Optimus. So I'm pretty sure Lego learned their lesson this time around. They're probably going to bring Joe back. He's going to do the Soundwave, and they're going to crush it. And hopefully it'll come with like a laser beak or something, and that'll be cool. I hope so. I hope so. I'm not feeling the B. I'm really not. Not at that price. I feel I mean, it might be a hot take for some people, and I tell this to my wife all the time. I think Lego is ridiculously overpriced for what it is. When it comes to the customer is the assembler of the product, and all you have to do is just give them the bag of blocks. And Lego prices just keep rising and rising and rising. It's like, oh yeah, two minifigs and a little vehicle, $50. And it's like, oh geez, like $50, I could buy me some really good stuff, you know? And when you look at what other companies do that are brick related, whether it be Mega Blocks or even some of the bootleg stuff, and it's like a fraction of the price, it really says that you're paying for the Lego tax, the sticker, It's insane. And that's just me as a toy collector. There's stuff that I like that Lego does. I mean, I like Bionicle. Well, you can't see Tahu, but he's down there. I like Bionicle, but that's more the action figure element of it. I liked Spyrius, that old 90s set, the robot stuff. I appreciate a good Lego Technic here and there, some car related things from a mechanic standpoint, but in general, it's never been my thing. It's been more her thing, so that's why it exists in my life in my hemisphere. The amount of minifigs that are in that other room, it's just detox of minifigs. Whew, she is crazy. And she bought Playmobil. She bought the Naruto Playmobil stuff that was on sale, although she couldn't find Naruto. She tried to get Naruto. She has all the others except Naruto, so she wants to get that one if anyone finds one. It's long done now because it's all on clearance now. They're like super cheap, but Transformatics, she goes to AliExpress all the time. The difference between her and other Lego collectors is she loves Lego, but she also has no problem buying bootlegs. She just wants to have those people, She just wants to have that style, you know, that style. Yeah. Young, here, young for you. There, let's pull him up. Yo, yo. There we go. There's my boy chilling back. Here, we'll put him back here for now. Eh, don't knock over Hot Rod. Voiced by Scott McNeil. He has a much more rat trappy Duo Maxwell kind of sounding voice in the movie. But yeah. Yeah, there's Naruto Playmobil. Yeah, they did a whole bunch. You can make me go get them now. I'm not going to go get them, but she got a whole bunch of them. They were on sale, $2 Canadian each, ridiculously cheap. It's like dollar and 10 cents American, a whole bunch of the figures. So she picked up like a whole bunch of them, but they didn't have Naruto. It was sold out. She got Kakashi, Sasuke. Oh my god, I don't remember what the other one she got. Broccoli. I don't know. She got a whole bunch of them. So I wasn't paying attention to which one she got exactly. Hey, David Cabal, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? She wants to get the Lego Knight Rider. She has the Lego Back to the Future stuff. Not the Lego Back to the Playmobil Knight Rider. She wants to get the Playmobil Knight Rider. She has the Playmobil Back to the Future. She has the Playmobil Ghostbuster stuff. She loves that building block. And even though Playmobil isn't building block, she likes that kind of world of stuff. I don't know why. I think that was her childhood. She has a deep connection with that stuff. So hey, all to her. It's not my thing. I'm not big on Playmobil, but I dig it. I dig it. If someone loves something, hey, I respect the love of it. You know, not gonna rag on someone else's enjoyment. But the last thing we got, which we're gonna be opening up today, is we went to the Asian supermarket and they had these Pokemon Oreo cookies that are. We got them for $2.99 Canadian. They're Pikachu Special Edition Pokemon Oreos. They're apparently banana flavored. So a couple weeks ago, we opened Oreo Coca-Cola ones, and they were disgusting. And I literally gave it to my wife. She tried one. She thought they were disgusting, and then she brought it to her work and just left them there. Oh my God, these smell amazing though. Oh man, these smell like ear medicine. Amoxicillin? Anyone knows what I'm talking about? Banana amoxicillin? There we go. Got the filling in there is brown. Let me try it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that tastes really good. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna take another one. And then I gotta stop. Mm. See, that's how you make a cookie. Ninja's wrong. Banana flavor should be outlawed. I'm sorry. That Coca-Cola flavored one should have been outlawed. That's like chocolate with banana. I don't know why that just works. It smells and tastes like amoxicillin medicine, which is like a banana flavored medicine for ear infections and stuff. That's what it tastes like. Wow. Alrighty. That's good stuff. Oh, that's a change of pace after what happened 2-3 weeks ago. Ugh. That was disgusting. But yeah, that was good. So let's look at some questions. We got a super chat. Jason, the $5 super chat with the new Devastator on his way. Do you think we will get a now more in-scale Omega Supreme soon? Jason, that has more to do if we're talking something like, let's say, a trademark. When was our last Omega trademark? Because they did a reissue of them not too long ago, didn't they? think they did a reissue of the Siege one not too long ago. So it's something where Omega, all those bigger characters and a lot of the combiners, those are trademarks that Hasbro always kinds of find themselves in a situation that, how do you keep it going? There's clever ways to do it during the Unicron trilogy. Yeah, eh, you had the Constructicon Maximuses and the Superion Maximuses and the Devastator Maximuses from Energon. And then when you had Cybertron, the giant planet had characters like Menasor, like they would throw those combiner names onto, characters that inspire largeness just to keep those trademarks alive. Today we don't really have those excuses. Yeah, for the odd, like, oh, we need to do something with Metroplex, but we don't want to do G1. They did the Cybertron Titan class. I'm wondering whether they're going to do a Triptychon. What do you do with a Triptychon trademark? What do you do? Bruticus Maximus, excuse me. What do we do with some of those? Yeah. It's it's something where, I mean, it didn't even have the Maximuses in the Superlink one. It was just Bruticus. So Omega is one of those that I think that when they're going to be in a push comes to shove situation, then we're going to see something. And in my opinion, in all honesty, I think they're going to do like animated Omega Supreme before that. I think they'll use an excuse to do a different version of the character. I think we'll more likely see that before we see a revisiting of the Omega Supreme character, like the Generation 1 version. Too soon. And a good point that Aaron said during his live stream last night is, sometimes you want to create a little bit of distance and a different era of collectors who didn't get an opportunity to get, some of those characters. You create a second opportunity for them, either through reissues, repaints, or a brand new tooling of that character. So, it's something where when the time's going to come to do something with Triptychon, Hasbro just might be in a situation where it's like, do we put all the time and energy into tooling another Titan class in a world where Titan classes are tough to do? Or do we just reissue Triptychon again? The old Triptychon from, Power of the Prime, Titan's Return in that bubble there, you know? It's like, and throw that on Hasbro Pulse's website, you know? But Omega Supreme, I feel that, yeah, they could revisit the G1 character, but I think they'll do animated. I think they'll do an animated Omega Supreme. It'll give them an excuse to do an arc again, to do something that's, a different spin on the character while keeping the trademark alive, so people will want to engage with it. And then it buys them another 4 years until they have to then reissue the Siege one, and it doesn't look like it's so close together. I always say you need to have a reissue, have at least like 8 to 10 years in between, you know? Have 8 to 10 years in between. When they did those Headmaster reissues, like, gosh, like it was like what, 4 years after the Titans Return figures came out, you know? They didn't waste no time. Now, granted, it had different tooling. It had the Takara Legends tooling on them and the nice boxes that were more G1 inspired, but sometimes you got to wait a little bit before you do those retro reissues. Um, yeah, I know Triptychon would be cool to get reissued. A lot of people didn't get Triptychon because, he went on crazy clearance and all the scalpers just ate it up from Ollie's. So, and then they all ended up at TFCon for like $100 a piece, even though they were purchased at, was it $10, $15 each? It was crazy. Kind of like what happened with Scorponok. Get a reissue with him too. Reissue Scorponok, reissue. I mean, even Predaking. But Predaking's one of those characters. If they go, hey, we need to do something with Predaking, update the Prime character, and you don't have to do a big crazy Titan class combiner thing. You just do a retool the Dragon Megatron, call it Predaking. It's Transformers Prime. It would be a terrible Predaking by using that as the basis for the tooling, but I mean, it's something where in another world that would have been an easy way to keep that trademark going. I mean, there's Scourge toys that are legend scale that were called Triptychon just to keep that trademark going. There was so many. legend scale figures from classics back in the day. I'm looking at a bunch of them that were all named after combiner limbs or combiner elements just to keep those trademarks. Like, hey, we need to keep Hotspot alive. Hey, we need to keep this alive. Defensor, Menasor. There's a Titaniums of Hot Rod. There, that one, but in purple. That was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. It's kind of hard to see because he's in the back, but they called it Menasor. So that's kind of how I see them going about that. Where are we here? Clark Clint Gaming. Does anyone know where I can read the fun publication Transformer Universe comics? I don't know if there's anywhere public that those are, because you have like the first three books, assume you're referring to, before it kind of dropped off. I don't know if there's a public place. I'm pretty sure I could find something if I spent a little bit of time on the internet, and I'm pretty sure in my archives I have a CBR file somewhere. Somewhere. Clark, because you're a YouTube member, send me a private message on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll try to dig up something for you. I'll see what I could find. I'm pretty sure I must have something in my archive of that, and even they did, I think, like the Dawn of the Beast one, which was like a prequel to all of that too. So there's a bunch of it. T-Formers 2002 Titans Return was about 8 9 years ago, so reissue Triptychon would work. Yeah, well that one's been a while. That one's been a while. That I remember the big Ollie sale. Gosh, because I always I'm looking over at like my Titans display, and it's like, yeah, that came right after Fort Max, and I think he's due. I think he's due. I think he's due. No problem, Clark. No problem, Clark. What else did I get? I didn't get much. I don't know. It was a very disappointing Black Friday, but I'm not a big Black Friday person. Like again, I was more tempted to almost go cross the border and go to the States and do shopping just because like I felt that there just wasn't going to be anything here. And again, she found stuff, so she's happy, so that's fine. But not much for me. Not much for me. Again, if it wasn't for Big Bad Toy Store sending everything UPS, I wouldn't have these boys. But these are good. Expect some photo shoots in the near future. So it is what it is. It was a see you later, Star Warrior, patron member. But aside from that, we're in one of these kind of situations where Hasbro is obviously going to have to revisit a lot of names, but they're also trying to reduce product. Nate mentioned how the waves are going to be longer. There's going to be less product coming out, but the positive is product will be on shelves longer. Double-edged sword, could work both ways. It's good for people who are trying to get product because it'll be on the store shelves longer, so there's going to be more of it out there. It also leads to, if it's on the store shelves longer, some stores might get a little antsy and retailers will get antsy, so they'll put them on sale. And it's one of those things where if they put it on sale, then we get an opportunity to buy it cheaper. So, if you see like a Devastator limb or something and you're like, oh, it's a little pricey, but the Devastator limbs are going to be on shelves longer. Well, you're in a situation where you could probably get it on sale if it's going to be on shelves for 4 months instead of 3, and a Walmart goes, I need to get this out of here, you know? So I put all my photos on Insta and Twitter. They go on both. Not feeling Blue Sky. Blue Sky's a little flawed for a system. I don't know. I was trying to post stuff on it and it doesn't do videos well. It doesn't do photos in the highest quality or multiple images properly. So I might be kind of ignoring Blue Sky a little bit. I've had it for about more than a year because I know my buddy Josh Perez gave me an account a while back. But I'm gonna definitely, if you're looking for me to post stuff, it's definitely these two. These two. Um, will the products be higher in quality? I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know, Rodimus Supreme. Like it's something where the product will just keep its ABS PVC quality that it has up to this point. I haven't messed with 2025 product. I'm going to assume that it's going to at least maintain what we have up to this point. These are pretty decent figures. I mean, look, we're not going to go back to the plastic quality of, like, let's say the Unicron trilogy and, early classics and stuff. That was a level of plastic quality that was feasible for that time, and the plastic was just much more solid. Look, you have to have what are called like hollow elements now. Like, it's not even just like a matter of, let me just get in really close as possible. Like, you just have to have, like, oh, that's not just for the injection of the mold. That's just like, hey, if we could hollow out the back of an arm, the back of a leg, and have the figure be a little thinner, gate it out a little bit, fill it out in other areas to just make it worth it. It's an unfortunate truth with a lot of our modern transformers, because plastic is getting more expensive, prices are exponentially increasing, you know, and it's not good. It's not good, you know. So it's something where you'll have to essentially just get used to the quality that we have right now. I don't if you want, honestly, if you want better quality transformers, you're going to have to look at stuff like Masterpiece, where you're paying a modulable price for whatever the item is worth, because we're locked into price points with retail transformers. As long as this is locked into a price point, it has a limit of what it could be. And we're going to, I mean, leader classes are going to be very interesting to see going into 2025. I'm very curious what the Q4 is going to be, like the earnings reports for 2024 Q4, and how that's going to affect the choices of that kind of stuff. Horned Owl, Proto, did you see the Super 7 TF Keshi surprise figs? They look like new Keshi gummies or decoys. Are you talking about the old ones they did? Because they did like 2 waves of them many years ago, Super 7, that are kind of like the decoys. Did they make new ones that were just announced? Because it's, I didn't hear about that today. But they made I think 2 waves of them a while back in multiple colors, kind of inspired by that old Keshi decoy kind of design. The guys at Super 7 are really into that nostalgic kind of vibe. I mean, I got a whole bunch of Keshis right here in my hand. Like I always have a whole bunch of them on my table because I love them so much. Here's a Piccolo. Here's a Mega Man dog from Mega Man X, Volager. So it's something where I like, again, Super 7's another company that I love what they do. I'm just not a fan of their prices. I love, love, love what they do, but man, their prices are just redonkulous. It's so silly. Like, I'll be like, hey man, your reaction stuff is cool, but it is not $25 Canadian cool, which is like $20 American. Like, it's fine for, like, if those things were like $7, that's exactly what they should be. And when a lot of those reactions go on clearance and they end up being $5 a piece, and they're still making profit at $5 a piece, then you all of a sudden know, like, yeah, that's where it belongs. You know, that's where it belongs. Horned Owl, I'm getting adverts of them now. I saw them for the first time. Um, Aaron Archer says their Super 7's prices are 25% too high at least. Well, I forget who it was, Aaron. Maybe it might even been your buddy Bobby from Valaverse. Someone in the toy community pointed out that the big problem with the Super 7 guys is that because they're based in San Diego, as opposed to, let's say, having a factory and a head office and a storage facility and a warehouse in a Texas or even a Canton, Ohio or something, because they're in San Francisco, they just pay insane rent, and then their own living lifestyles. Think about it, right? They go home to an expensive San Francisco apartment, and they're CEOs of companies. And as a result, their expensive lifestyle, their expensive location, it's a trickle effect that then affects us, because it ends up becoming a company expense that ends up getting passed on to the product. So it's something where I feel that if they move their facility, which they won't, because there's just a lot of guys that are just like, I got to live in the West Coast and I will ride or die before I do that. But those guys, if they moved their if Super 7 moved their whole operation to like a Midwest state or something, they can make their products significantly cheaper and more people would be engaging with it instead of buying Ultimates figures that are what, it's $65 now and now they're gutted. I mean, I don't know. Again, I love their stuff. I love their stuff, but it's too expensive. It's way too expensive, and that's why so much of their stuff is dropping off because people aren't going to pay, you know? People are not going to pay. Archer Monster, they appeal to the cool guy fans and price it accordingly. But Marvel basic 5-point figures are too high also. Well, we saw that through Canada with Dollarama. So Marvel did their Kenner inspired reaction line. I don't know if you remember those. What are they called? Like retro Marvels? I have a bunch of them. And those were like what? Those were like $14.99. And then those all showed up at Dollarama here in Montreal for like $4 a piece. And I bought like all of them because I was just like, I'll buy them at $4 a piece, not $14 a piece. And if Dollarama is buying them wholesale at $4 a unit, they could sell them and make a profit. What the hell do they cost? That is where it gets a little wild in the weeds of value and currency. They're probably costing $1 a piece and they're being sold at 14. Come on, man. You know? James Hobson, hey Pro, do you know if they fixed the yellowing issue on some of the plastics they've been using? Well, it's more a matter of has there been any reports of it? Because if there has been recent product that does have the yellowing issue, I always keep this boy nearby because he's yet to yellow. You know, this is my personal one. But again, I firmly believe it has to do with heat being the biggest factor. It has nothing to do with sun exposure or anything. It just has everything to do with heat. In that, I find that heat is what makes this guy yellow, and this is a nice, cool, chilly basement. And even in the hottest days here in Montreal, it's a basement, so it's always going to be pretty decent. Has there been any reports of someone ordering a product through Amazon in a much more sweltering southern state and it's sitting outside and then being opened and being completely yellowed? I know that I got Art Fire from Mikey and Louie, and they live in a much more kind of southern environment. And Art Fire was yellowed, but that's because it came from somewhere that was hot, you know, where, you know, it's a little different depending on where it's, I can't stress this enough. If you have a Transformer collection, I know not everyone has a house that they could do this, but if you have a Transformer collection and you want to protect it, cool and dry, always, and out of sunlight. Cool, dry, and out of sunlight. Yeah, but when I'm gone at work, I turn off the AC. Well, then there's nothing I could do. At that point, there's no other advice I could give. It's like taking care of children. You got to keep them cool and dry. Talib, not a fan of Super 7 Ultimate's articulation due to the lack of double joints and knees, elbows, or deal breaker. I agree with the articulation with the Ultimates Transformer stuff. It's not super great. I do like their choice of characters and deep cuts. Having like a Bludgeon or a G2 Megatron. I appreciate that stuff. I appreciate that stuff a lot more. And the articulation thing, yeah, it does suck, but that's where they kind of get like the thumbs up for me. But then the prices make me go, oh, have a good day, sir. I'll wait for a sale. T-Formers 2002. Even if the heat is an issue, not everyone can control that, so you still need to be fixed. Yeah, well, that's why. Like, it's not everyone has that opportunity, so that's why I understand it. Like, you just some people they leave the house and they have to turn off the air conditioning. They can't afford it, and I totally get that. And not everyone lives in a house that has a basement that's cool and dry. So, but that's the information's out there, and then you do with it what you will if you can. You know. G-Axis. Do I have G-Axis nearby, or is he in the display? Oh, he's in the display. Does G-Axis yellow? Because mine's just fine. But again, cool, dark, no windows. It's great. I'm in Florida. My Art Fire is yellow. Well, Florida, forget about it. Florida is humid city number one. That Art Fire was yellowed before it got to you. sitting in that UPS truck or that, United States Postal Service truck. Kevin PH, will they make more IDW Transformers? People would unalive for a new Nautica, especially if it's more accurate. Well, I mean, it's something where what I've been seeing a lot with Hasbro is they'll do a female style body type and then they kind of bake in 3 or 4 female characters with it. Nautica was, of course, the case with God. Who did she share it with? I got in that box set. One moment. Get up. Oh yeah, that's right. It was a RC mold retool. Of course. Well, that RC mold retool that also used the blur, the headmaster RC. Um, you know, they just kind of like plan that stuff. So it's something where, you know, I don't know. She's a weird one. So it's something where it's like if they could do some crazy tooling and get some. I don't. I hate to say it. I don't see them doing a standalone Nautica. Let's put it that way. You know, I don't see them doing a standalone Nautica, but I could see them doing a mold that then somehow just becomes her later on. You know, blur, 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 blur. Titan return, blur. Headmaster RC. I see. I have Headmaster's RC next to her, so that's the one that clicked in my mind because I put all the fembots together, so they're all chilling, talking crap. What's with that Proto Man? What's with his hairline? Oh my god. Um, Mike Prime, Proto. It's MP36 Megatron, MP12 plus Sideswipe. There we go. Was the Sideswipe. MP plus Wheeljack, which is a fantastic mold. And the Prowl, again, those Datsuns, they're all amazing. All of those. And the Megatron is amazing too. Like all of those are amazing. The Datsun brothers. Of those Datsuns, I maybe it's just I'm a little biased. The blue streak. Oh my God. If you could get that blue streak, it looks phenomenal as a masterpiece. I don't know why it came out so nice, that one. Of the wheel jacks, I mean the exhaust is cool too, but the plus is probably as good as it's gonna get. That plus wheel jack is amazing. And of the Lamborghinis, oh man, I got all the Lambos too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really like that G2 one. That G2 one is sexy. They're all good. They are all absolutely fantastic. But going back to Kevin PH, you know, uh, IDW designs, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's something if there is a demand to do a certain character or there is an IP trademark that needs to be revisited, that would make sense. Like let's put it, we got a rung, right? Like we got rung. That was made as a little, wasn't a core class. It was more of that battle master price point. But we got that little rung. I don't think we're going to be seeing a rung anytime soon. I think that was like a one and done kind of thing. Boom, there you go. So that might I hope that's not the case with something like a Nautica, but you have to sometimes give Hasbro an opportunity for why are we revisiting a Windblade? Why are we revisiting this? Why are we revisiting that? Maybe you could hope for a Nautica if she becomes a character in a future piece of property, you know? That's one way to look at it too. You know, we could hope for getting updates of certain characters if they become featured characters in a show. You could look like a Transformers Cyberverse series. And then it's like, oh hey, certain characters are featured in the show that normally don't get toys, and oh, here's a bludgeon, here's a this, here's a that, you know, here's a drift. You know, Drift doesn't get a ton of toys, and like, oh hey, he's in Cyberverse, so let's make a Drift figure. You know, so it's kind of one of those things where if they're featured in certain media, whether it be future TV series or comic books, then that gives them more of an excuse. If they're relegated and stuck in that one piece of media as time progresses, like an IDW exclusive character, unless that character has a huge groundswell of following, there's less of an incentive for Hasbro to do that. I think like the Nautica that we got before it came in a box set. So that and the box set was initially supposed to be something that was like a big bad toy store exclusive. That before that was supposed to be like a club exclusive. So there was a lot more fluidity for ideas. When you get those box sets, when you get those exclusives, you get those unique ideas because they're sold in. But when it's something that's going to be a mainline retail product, they play it more safe to the breast, unfortunately. I mean, I would like some updates of those characters. You know what I mean? A lot of them. I mean, I'm still, look, I'm still waiting for like, like give me like a Mikey and what Mikey and Louie want. They want like a Scorponok that's deluxe class and a Fortress Maximus that's deluxe class to do something that's more in scale with the Marvel comics. That Simon Furman, Andrew Wildman era of art style and writing. Give me a really good Nightbeat. I want a really good updated Nightbeat figure. We've gotten new Nightbeats, but they've all been kind of subpar. They've always been kind of repaints or retools of something that came before, and it just didn't hit it. When we got the Minerva, I was like, oh, are we going to get Nightbeat out of that? Well, I was like, I hope not. I hope we get a Nightbeat from the ground up as a headmaster with muzzle and everything, you know? So give me all of those Headmaster Juniors updated. Give me Sirens, aka Go Shooter, and Hosehead, aka Cab, Give me those dudes. Give me those dudes updated. I'd love those. That'd be great. Uh, TF1 MPs? I wish. I wish. You know what? One of the biggest mistakes that I made in terms of like calling it was I looked at how Bumblebee movie was handled during Masterpiece, and it's like we got that Optimus, we got that Bumblebee during Bumblebee movie as movie masterpieces, and I'm like, man, when we're gonna get Rise of the Beast, we're gonna get movie masterpieces. We got this. And then I was like, uh-oh, if Rise of the Beast got this for movie masterpieces, I'm worried for Transformers 1. I would love it if we got Transformer 1 movie masterpieces, but I don't know. And Fair Lady Z, you are correct. Marvel Nightbeat will forever be best Nightbeat. Will forever and ever. Do I have? Let me grab. Where's Dark Designs? Uh, grab the books later. I love Matrix Quest by Simon Furman. Love that stint of issues. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but I finally found some time to finish season 2.5 of Transformers Earthspark. And I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to say anything, but I will say this. Um, the character of Prowl that's featured in this, and that's not a spoiler, everyone knew Prowl was in it, um, had a very half kind of Nightbeat vibe to him, where to the point that if they would have called him Nightbeat and designed him as Nightbeat, I would have totally been on board for that. But he also had to be like connected with Optimus Prime and have that right hand man kind of thing going on. So you had to keep that too, and have that G1 connection because Earthspark still keeps 1 foot in the 84-85 window, even though it's not in the same continuity. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I want a new Nightbeat from the ground. I want a Nightbeat that's based off of the Marvel version. It doesn't have to look like a Porsche 911 because the Marvel version didn't 100% slavishly keep that design anyways. It had a very unique kind of chest design because that's a whole long story that has to do with mistakes of swapping robot designs and everything, and it was used for commercials. But have that unique design that's different from the toy, and make him still a headmaster so you could still keep that element, and just give him like the one gun. Give him his one gun, and then at some point, we could have him hold a little green matrix hologram. Like I love those stories with Thunderwing and all of them. Man, they're just good stuff. They are just good stuff. What's up, Larry? But yeah, Mike Prime only in Megs due to gun mode. Don't collect Masterpiece while Raiden and the Super Ginrai and God Bomber are all. I'll wait until Hasbro does Generations versions, no matter how long it will be. Well, I mean, we did kind of get Generations versions of Super Jinrai and God Bomber. They were just through the Legends line. LGX, I believe it was the number for it, where it came with the kids and everything. Raiden, don't hold your breath on that one. And it needs a trench coat. It's true for Nightbeat. Raiden, don't hold your breath for that. Go check out Toy Armada, our panel that we did at TFCon. It's the latest segment. We talk about trains and Transformers and the Western market versus the Eastern market. Yeah, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Talib Takara is done with the 2007 movie with MPMs. I'm curious where they go next, if they're keeping yearly trends going. Well, I mean, think about it. Where would we go? Like, do we do like a Masterpiece Fallen? Is that the first big boy that we do? Do we do a side swipe? Do we do something where it's like, okay, are we going to finally like turn the world on its head and do the twins? Masterpiece twins with super detailed faces so that Twitter could get angry and Blue Sky could get angry all over again for something they have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know. But it's a messy one. What did Aaron say? Did Aaron say something? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I must have missed something. Either way, hope I didn't miss a super chat. But yeah, Raiden was terrible. I don't think Raiden was terrible. It's just, it's very hard to satisfy people when you're going to invest in individual limbs that are going to be $100 to $150 a piece, and you're just going to have it in a giant robot mode where a good 2/3 of your investment into Raiden, you will never be able to enjoy. Meaning, like, you're never, like, after you get your limb, you don't keep it in vehicle mode ever. You never see it again. You don't keep it in robot mode ever. You just turn it into leg, arm, whatever. And then you have them in big old beefy Raiden mode, and you have them like this, and then you put them in your display, and then you never see those ever again. So it's something where you have to kind of accept that it's an investment piece that has the potential to be enjoyed, but at the same time, how you're going to tackle it because of its masterpiece complexity. I personally like Raiden, and I didn't mind paying the extra money to get those limbs, and including the Diaclone limbs, which I really dug, like getting Dr. Yellow and Yamaguchi and stuff like that. Those were cool, but that's just me who knows that in my brain, we're not going to see that in the West. I hate to say it. So the fact that I could get it at least in the East, fine by me. Kevin PH with the $5 super chat. I don't know if you've already touched on this, but Elon recently said he wants to buy Hasbro and own D&D. What are your thoughts? Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say about that. A lot of people are getting emotional. They have an opinion of the man, Elon, and their beliefs don't cling with those opinions and stuff, and thus they say a lot of crazy stuff. They want him dead, they want him this, they want him that, and all that crazy things. I always look at it like this, right? Uh, Hasbro's a business, and it has to be handled like a business, and you have to look at every individual and how they would come in, regardless if you like them personally or not, and how they would handle a business. I don't understand people who complain about Elon and pay for Twitter premium and have a Twitter account. Like, okay. It's like it's something where I get it. You're confused, you don't understand how business works, and you just want to vent, that's fine. But I don't know Elon as a toy salesman. I don't know Elon as a toy developer. But I will say this: if Elon bought Hasbro, you honestly think that it's going to be Elon who's going to be like deciding every figure? They're going to hire individuals that are talented in those fields, and they're going to run the show. It's not like a thing where like Elon's going to be sitting in the driver's seat deciding which characters are going to be available in which line, or you know the political beliefs of certain characters, or any of the gender related stuff. I don't think any of that is going to come up. It's more so just Elon's, if he does buy it, which I don't think he will. I think that's just they're just talking, they're just having fun. Unless Hasbro's Q4 is really bad, then who knows? But it's something where it's like people are saying like, "Oh no, Elon, if he buys Hasbro, it's ruined forever," as opposed to how bad Hasbro is right now. I mean, and again, I don't care about Elon. I don't have again, Canadian, no dogfight in the game. I'm just going to look at the facts. That's all I care. If you can't let your emotions like look at the facts, then don't have this conversation at all. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, he's a businessman, but he's not a businessman who's done toys before. So he doesn't have any track record that I could look at and go, well, look how successful he was with Pogs. Look, Elon saved Pogs. You know, like I can't. There's nothing I could turn to say as an example, so I can't really have an answer to that. You know, that's the thing. Mototron, if Elon owned Hasbro, he could name robots he's making after Transformers. Well, if Elon is a businessman, he'll know that that's not how that works. You have to register trademarks and IPs with the US Patent Office, and that's how you have the names of characters. So it's not that simple. Have we not been paying attention to the podcast all these years? It doesn't work like that. You can't just name this guy Dudybot and then think you're just going to sit on that forever. And I just dropped ugh, some of my figs. But yeah, like you can't just do that. So it's like it. I wouldn't worry about it. I think people are over exaggerating. They're saying some really stupid stuff on the internet, but that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of people that say some really reactionary, stupid stuff. Gee, I really hope he dies. I hope he gets killed. I hope he gets poisoned. It's like, bro, you don't even know him. I don't know him either, you know? But all I know is he's never worked in a toy company before. So if he did buy the company, he'd have to hire people who work in toy companies. That's it. That's all I know. And those people would be making those decisions, not him. You know, he wants to protect D&D. Sure. I don't like D&D. D&D is not my thing. I like Magic the Gathering. That's my jam. D&D is not my thing. I'm not a role play, tabletop kind of stuff. Yeah, Mikey and Louie, poor Duty Bot. Yeah. Duty Bot trademark. Yeah. But it's something where again I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's just him having fun probably on Twitter, if anything, and people just reacting for the sake of reacting. That's always what it is. Getting emotional for the sake of getting emotional. And where does that always get everybody? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. You know? It's absolutely insane. Like when I read stuff like that, it's just like, okay, but show me, you know? What is Hot Rod's quote? What is Hot Rod's quote on his tech spec? Someone write it in the chat. Someone write Hot Rod's quote in the chat. My favorite damn Transformer character of all time. What is his tech spec quote? What is his tech spec quote? Prince of Phoenix 59. I don't think he'll buy it. He's just trolling people and they're getting worked up. Yeah, and it worked. That's it. That's it. That's all it is essentially at the end. You know? That's all it is. But there's a lot of people that are really not in a good place in their lives, and sometimes they need that kind of stuff. Oh, Aaron. Oh, Aaron. Oh, Aaron. Oh, Aaron. Damn you, Aaron. Mikey and Louie, sorry I got Optimus killed, but see you then, Aaron. Anyways, what it should be, um, my actions speak louder. Oh God, I'm not gonna read that out loud because I don't need YouTube being all angry. But it's my actions speak louder than my words, and that's the reality. Experience is the benchmark of maturity is Rodimus Prime. It's okay, Aaron. Um, you know, experience about that's Rodimus. Hot Rod's quote here, guys. Let's pull out the old book. Pull out the old book. This is the Transformers card book. Let's get to the Chinese trading card set. Let me pull them both out here. He's gonna whip them out. So you got some, I believe these are Pat Lee art, or I don't know who. So there's experiences, the benchmark for maturity for Rodimus Prime, and then Hotorod. Again, that's also Pat Lee art, I believe. Work with me here. There we go. My actions speak louder than my words. There you go. Old trading card set from China many years ago. I want to say, I don't know, 2011, 2010. Very cool. You got it back in the day from an early BotCon. But yeah, actions speak louder than words, and that's all that matters to me. You could talk on Twitter until your fingers hurt, but it doesn't mean anything to me until you do something. So, sure, until you do something. And same thing. He's done no actions that say that he knows how to run a toy company. So maybe he's just talking. Maybe he's just riling people up. That's all. Doesn't mean anything to me. If he buys the company, then what's the next action? Who are you hiring? Who are you firing? Are you keeping people? Are you hiring back people? John Warden needs a job, you know? Are you going to get rid of the fluff that isn't needed there? Are you going to bring back people that are of talent? Actions. What are those actions? And I will judge you based on those actions. I am not going to judge you based on your words. People say stuff all the time. People say stuff all the time that is contradictory to their beliefs. People say stuff all the time that is contradictory to who they are as people. Sometimes a person could say something 20 years ago and people are held by it forever, but their actions are all that really matter at the end of the day. So I don't care. Let me see what he does and then we'll talk. But the words aren't going to mean anything to me. The words aren't going to mean anything to me. I had work with Hasbro. I did copy on a mobile basis until they phased out copy. Although they're bringing back copy with Studio Series, so I might have to talk to Nate. I might have to talk to Nate because if they're bringing back copy with Studio Series, and for people that aren't familiar, oh god, I have nothing of copy nearby. So copy is when usually you have a bio and you're cross-selling the product and stuff. Unfortunately, there's so few Transformer stuff in the modern era that have copy, so I don't have a single packaging nearby that has a. And you don't even see copy anymore with like other toys. Look, there's nothing that says Cutman was Dr. Light's third robot master, or something. I already am a creative consultant with licensed stuff through Hasbro. I do creative consulting for their deck building game, for their what do you call it? The Robo Rally that just came out. I was the creative consultant on that. I already do that stuff. I already do that now, So it's and the thing is, it's like if you say like, what about fiction? Well, then I have to be now in Hasbro West Coast, and that's a whole other animal. That's a whole other different group of people. It's not just one person that's pulling all the strings of everything, Like, Evan and Mark, you might look at them as like these two important individuals in terms of the design team, but they don't decide the names of characters and how they're depicted in cartoons or movies. That's totally out of their reach. That's a completely different group of people. And those are people that are within the company on a high level that we look up to, you know? Joseph, what's up, Joseph? The king is here, Joseph Ryder. I hope Elon Musk buys Hasbro and us. Well, we will see what happens. Again, I don't react to anything. That's why I didn't bring it up as news, because just people talking on Twitter to me is not newsworthy. It doesn't mean anything. People arguing on Twitter, people being emotional on Twitter, people having meltdowns on Twitter, people leaving Twitter because of their emotional meltdowns. Nah, it's not going to make a difference to me. Prince of Founding 69, well, that would be something if John Warren gets hired back to be CEO. Again, not CEO, guys. Like, if you bring John back as CEO, then you don't have him in the creative seat to create Transformer product. You would want to bring John back. Look, CEO would be great for John because he'd be making big money. It would be great for John financially. But think about it for us. Wouldn't you want John to be in the creative seat where he could actually do some positive as opposed to just sitting in an office and making small decisions here and there and having corporate meetings? You know, Proto was a creative consultant for my haircut. I sure hope not. I sure hope not. I sure hope not. But it's something where you have to everyone has a place in a company, and it's not just one individual who's steering the ship. Way too many times, people as fans, they always assume it's like a George Lucas thing. Like George Lucas made Star Wars and no one else was involved at all. And then when you really peel it back, you learn about why you loved like Return of the Jedi so much or Empire Strikes Back or whatever was not just because of George Lucas. There's so many other people involved, and it's the same thing with any brand. Is there one person that you could attribute the entire success of Transformers to? Of course not. You need the Kojin Onos, you need the Yoke Sans, but you also need the Flint Dillies, you need the Bob Budianskis, you need the Simon Furmans, you need the you need the what's his name there, who was the editor in chief of Marvel during the 80s. Oh God, he had the skin condition. And I don't mean that to be rude. It's just that's the first thing that'll help pop in. Like he was integral in that too. If he didn't walk into Bob's office and go, "Hey, are you free to do this?" We might have a completely different cast of characters. You know, we'd have a completely different cast of characters. There's no one single individual that steer. Jim Shooter, thank you, DW Brown and Ninjatron. You know, Jim Shooter is just as important in the domino effect of things, and no one talks about him, you know, when you talk in Transformers, you know. Well, Aaron comes later. When you get to the late Beast Wars era, going into the Unicron trilogy and that co-development with Hasbro and Takara, then you're talking Brian Goldner. Then you're talking Aaron Archer. Oh, hey, are we not going to talk about Eric Siebeneller? Are we not going to talk, about Joe Kide and his color layouts? Like there's so many different pieces. And by the way, John Warden was in the company at that time too. Yeah, he was doing Pokemon and stuff, but there's so many important individuals. To say that one guy is going to come in and that's going to change absolutely everything and we are totally effed if he does it. That's crazy. That's crazy. You have no idea how business works. Turn off Twitter, get a job at McDonald's, get a job as a manager at McDonald's, and then maybe you might learn just a little bit about how the French fries are made. And then you'll understand that there's a little more to business than just that, you know, just a little more, you know. You'll learn about how the McDonald's toys have a buy and sell, you know, and the profit margin of that. Prince of Phalanx 59, business is like a cookie. It takes a lot of good ingredients to make a great cookie. I agree with you. When you hear someone say, oh, here's my 3-ingredient cookie, it always tastes like crap. Usually. Usually. My wife, a lot of times, she sees those videos on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook, where it's like, here's my 3-ingredient cake that's amazing, and they always taste disgusting. Um, we need the Peter Cullens. Well, again, Peter wasn't the only one carrying that show, and Derek wasn't the only one carrying animated. To say that Derek Wyatt was the only reason why Transformers Animated was successful is an insult to Marty Eisenberg, you know, is an insult to Marcelo, who did the box art for those. It's an insult to Aaron, who was the guy who did Bumblebee and a few of the Eric Siebeneller did a whole bunch of those animated toys, but the guy who did Bumblebee was the European dude. Like, there's so many individuals that are involved in these products that you can't just pin it on one guy and say, there's our success, you know? There's our success. So, Aaron, you're a little late there on the Jim Shooter. I guess you're probably paused or something, maybe. But yeah, it's to me the Elon thing. Show me, show me. Don't tell me. Show me. That's it. Matt Youngberg. There's another one. Yeah, you can't you can't just put one dude. You know, I didn't know any more people. I mean, Frank Welker, Chris Latta, Michael Bell, who made up like made up a big chunk of the Autobots. Michael Bell is the Scott McNeil of G1 in that like his list of characters is like Scott McNeil for Transformers, where it's like Scott McNeil, here's his huge list, and Michael Bell, here's his huge list. But Michael Bell and Greg Berger, all of those great dudes, all of those great human beings. And that's the thing too. When you go to these cons and you meet these guys and you talk to them and you see that these were individuals that, it was just a job for them, but they gave it their all, they gave it their best. And you see how what they saw as just a job, but they gave their best resonates with people. Like, to say like one person's going to come in and improve it or not improve it and make it worse. Here's what I'm going to say. Right now, Hasbro, I want to see their Q4. Show me their Q4 report. I want to know how much they made. I'm kind of worried about it, but I want to know what their Q4 report is. And if you're someone who claims to be a smart individual who's going to give your hot take on Elon, if their Q4 is abysmal, tell me how Elon is going to make it worse, or tell me how Elon's going to make it better. That's it. But I'm worried that we're going to get a weird Q4. That's not going to be good. There's all kinds of already like rough stuff. Who is Scott Bell? Did I say Scott Bell? I meant Michael Bell. Michael Bell, the voice of Prowl, Sideswipe, Swoop. Yeah, Welker too. Welker had a few also. Welker had quite a few characters. Frank Welker, he's good for Disney alone. Prince and Phalanx 59. What's for dinner, Proto? So we hit up again, like I think last week we talked about it. We went to this Jewish bakery and we got a whole bunch of really good stuff. So we kind of got addicted to that. So we bought more of that, but we bought more this time. We bought chicken schnitzel, which we're gonna reheat, uh, spinach, potato knishes, a whole bunch of bagels, karnatzel, which is like a deli meat. Um, what else what else she got? She got a chocolate babka, which if you saw Seinfeld, you'll know what that is, like a chocolate loaf cake. She loves that. I'm not big on it. It's too sweet. What else did we get? We got a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna be good tonight. Let's put it that way. We're gonna be good. But those spinach potato knishes are amazing. When those are fresh, oh, delicious with a little bit of sesame oil on there. Mm, very good. Very, very good. So that's what we're going to be having tonight. And tomorrow, because we didn't get to do a lot of our shopping because it was still Black Friday, so it was bananas. It was super busy in some places. So I want to go to Costco tomorrow and pick up a few things because we wanted to go to Costco. There was zero parking. It was a madhouse. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to go to Costco tomorrow and then we're just going to chill. We did all our toy shop. I want to open up these bad boys. Open up these lovelies. They're going to get some nice photos. Get a good Elecman. I think this is the third ever Elecman toy of all time. There was a mini PVC, there was a retro Roto, and then there's this one, which is just the coolest thing ever. So super excited about those. Just hyped overall. Just going to enjoy my weekend with my loved ones. That's life. There's a really good. I wish I could show that video. There's a really good video that kind of shows like, what should be your priorities in life. and those same priorities in life, why people are always happier when they make those their priorities. And the small things in life, the Twitter things, all those things that are completely out of your control that you let populate 90% of your brain, waste of time. Waste of time. I'm in more control of Transformer stuff than most people are, and I don't dedicate it to that much of my brain, okay? So, as crazy as that sounds, you know? Modutron Prime Proto, if Hasbro decided to license out the main Transformers line, what company do you think would tackle it? I think something, honestly, a company that has really good relationships with Japan. So I know it sounds crazy, but Spin Master. Spin Master, which does the Bakugan line, they have a lot of experience with like transforming element product, and they also have a very good relationship with Japan. So it's something that if I felt that there was another Western company that was willing to do a co-mingling with Takara and still do product, it would be Spin Master. I know it's like, oh, really? Not Mattel, not Todd McFarlane, not Jada. I think Spin Master and what they do with Bakugan and everything, you know? So that's the company that I feel they would license it out to. Takara exists in Japan. They don't have a footprint here in America, you know? Yeah, Takara, whatever is made here, Takara will have over there under their branding, you know? If like let's say Mattel did it. Like if Mattel was the one licensing it, Takara would be the one importing it, you know? So, to give a really good example, let me give you a real anyone familiar with Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which is known as Gridman in Japan? So, that was a Takara product in Japan. But when they brought it over to America, it was licensed under a different company. It wasn't licensed under Hasbro. So you could have that a company could make one thing in one country and have a different country be the licensor of it. And you have see that with Sono Kong, with Takara stuff in Korea, and then you have Aldi with China, you know. So you have kind of that thing, and I could see Spin Master because if you ask me what Western company that exists today has proven, again, don't say it, show it to me, has proven the ability to do transformable products that does it on a high level, that they sell multiple units, that has a strong relationship with Japan. Spin Master, you know, Playmates has made transformable products. They don't have a relationship with Japan. And those transformable products are, they've done this and that. They do their little mutating turtles here and there. But I'm talking, on a high level, on a high complex level. There's some Bakugans that are pretty intricate, you know? So that's where it's like, and they have, again, that Japanese connection because Japan and Transformers are attached to the hip. I don't care what anyone says. So you need to have that connection. Whatever is the new series that's being released in the West, at some point is going to happen. Look what happened. You had Kenner that took Beast Wars because Hasbro wasn't going to do it, so they got Kenner to do it, and then Beast Wars became its thing. It still had the Japanese people putting their input here and there from Takara, and then you had the flower that is that product. Who knows? You have Bakugan's, design team tackle this with the Takara guys putting their input, and you get some amazing, Japanese anime inspired fresh take. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just spitting it out there, but who knows? So that's one way I could see it. I don't know. I don't know who owns Ninja Turtles right now. Is it Spin Master? I know that Spin Master licensed, I think, the last Turtle series. Was it? Joseph, what about Symbiote Studio? Sales are up 146%. We could do it. Well, Joseph, do you have the factories? Do you have the designers? I know you'll have the copywriters, but you know, it's something where, if you have the manpower, if you have the company that has the factories, that have the connections, again, you have to have that Japanese connection. So if you have all of that, you're way more ahead than some others. Jada is knocking it out with Street Fighter and Mega Man. Not sure how well they'll do with Transformers. Look, Jada is a great company. But Jada, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, they also have a really good relationship with Udon Comics. And if you look at Udon Comics, what brands do Udon Comics license? It's all the Capcom brands, the Street Fighters, the Mega Mans. And so Udon Comics is kind of their liaison in a lot of ways, but they don't really have a Japanese connection. And again, prove to me anything that Jada's done that has a transforming element and, the plastic durability of it. Look at this line here. This line here is the Titanium's line. It was done through the Galoob people who did Micro Machines through Hasbro. It didn't turn out very well. No offense, great designs by Don Figueroa, but the execution, because of the company that was responsible for it, it didn't turn out well. The individuals who were in charge of it didn't have that experience in doing it. The flip side of that, too, look at the Hasbro crossovers with the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff. Wasn't very good because the people that were in charge of that, the plastic tolerances, the designers, they were not familiar with making those kind of products. So, especially the first couple waves of Star Wars Transformers were abysmal for QC and how things were put out there. So, you have to really go like, who has experience to do that? You don't want to give it to a company like that has no experience in plastic tolerances of transforming a figure and everything like that. And then they don't even like it ends up having it's fragile and it doesn't work and it doesn't hold up and it's a floppy mess and it's just you don't want to do that. You really don't. I messed up poor Optimus here. But you don't want to do that because then that first wave is going to be abysmal. First impressions are everything. And everyone's going to go, oh my God, the new Mattel Transformer line is dog poop. Oh, it's terrible. I hate it. Oh my God. The first figure I opened, it already was loose and broken. That first impression, you lose them forever. And then no one's going to touch a Mattel Transformers product. So you got to make sure that it's given to someone that already has. And I mean, Bakugan's been around for what? Almost, 2008, 2007. So, I mean, it's coming up past 15 years now of experience minimum doing that. So I'm going to go, and Bakugan has done crossovers with Marvel. They've done crossovers with other stuff. They have that Japanese connection, Spin Master. They have an animation connection through Nirvana, which is an animation studio that does anime, and does co-development with Canadian and Japanese anime companies. There's a lot of, weight there. Just one example. Hey, Nate, I know you're listening, you know, just saying, bring it up. Bring it up. And I have no connection to these companies, by the way. I'm just saying, you know, not saying to push you in one direction because Proto Man's going to get paid. I'm just saying. Talib, it's for sure. It's an interesting discussion on what would happen if Hasbro dips on toy production and what our future would look like in the TF world. Well, I said it before. Transformers is never going to go away. There'll always be something. It's too powerful a brand. It's way too powerful a brand for it to just go away. There's too much to do. Someone will dip in and pay Hasbro licensing to be able to engage if Hasbro themselves don't want to do it. And I know Hasbro will still want to do it because while sales are down in general, Transformers still brings them money in. And to Hasbro, it's better to make some kind of money than to make no money at all. And yeah, you might lose in Star Wars. Oh, sales are down in this area, sales are down in that area. But hey, Transformers are still bringing in a couple bucks. Hold on to the Optimus Prime forever. Mike Prime said that right as Elon discussion started. I know there's a slim to no chance for a Generations Raiden, but I'll hang on to slim chance for HasLab. Well, HasLab is something that would be more doable because it does have kind of two markets there. But I mean, I think HasLab is better used for other things than something like that. I think when you have an opportunity to do a big high quality item with HasLab, you want to do something that's really unique and special that people would get excited about. Yeah. And find that right price. And finding that right price as always. And I have just been reminded that we're at by my mod, thank you, John, that we're at the past 2 hour mark. So I just want to say again, thank you everyone for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast, having a beautiful discussion today. If you want to continue supporting the podcast, we have the Patreon link down there. You can come join us on the Discord where we hang out and talk. We sometimes send out gifts and stuff, although Canada Post has been a little weird with that. But again, thank you again for listening. Great discussions, great stuff. You know, don't let what's going on in the media right now in the world, don't let that ever be a reflection of what's really going on in the real world. You know, let me tell you something, okay? You stare at that screen all day, you're just going to be lied to all day. You know, everyone was so shocked with the elections and all that stuff, but that's because no one was grounded in reality and what's happening. And that's a Canadian. That's a Canadian saying that. Do you want to know what was asked at the most to me that weekend at TFCon Orlando the week before the election? Who do you think's going to win, Proto Man? And I looked right into their eyes and I said, "Oh, you know who's going to win." And everyone's going to be surprised because all the people who are going to be surprised never leave the front door. Go out there, make friends, have fun, enjoy your life, have a great time. The world is so fucking amazing. You have no idea how freaking cool this world is. Go out there, travel, see cool shit. Man, go to a Transformer convention, hang out with people, and you're going to realize that, like, people just fucking just lose their shit, man. And it's cringe. It's cringe as hell. And I don't mean cringe McCringle in the chat, who's an awesome dude. I love you, Bailey. But, you know, like, it's cringe as hell, you know? And I have no stake in this game. I have a happy life, happy family. I got everything I need. So there's no lean to either side that I need that benefits my stuff. Just do your thing, but guys, make yourself happy and don't take the route. You know, the people who swim against the current sometimes are just, they're killing themselves. Enjoy life. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy your loved ones. Go say hi to your neighbor, see how he's doing. Does he need that fence fixed? You know, enjoy life. That's all I'm saying. I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourselves. And I'll talk to you in the near future talking about the robots in the skies. Go check out Aaron's segment. He did a really good one yesterday. Also, go check out his mysterious second cat. Butters, you're knocked out. Yeah, Butters is knocked out. He's done. Take care of yourself, guys. I'm out of here. And as always, roll out.